Welcome to 108 Healing Senses podcast. This is series 2, episode 2, 2026. And today I've got the wonderful Natalie Hegarty Harper. Is that the right way round?
It'll do.
Harper Hegarty. I'm sorry. Dyslexia just switched it around in a stressful moment. Thanks for coming on.
That's all right. Thanks for inviting me again. I really appreciate it. I loved it the last time. It was really good fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thank you for coming back. And I felt exactly the same. That's why I was like, I would love for you to come back on. I know you're certainly a shining ray of light, and you've got a lot of love to give to the world, as lots of insight and wisdom with your many facets. And I mean, I'm holding these spaces as a place for people to gain insight, wisdom, maybe just a change of perspective, also to feel more hopeful about their own journeys. And yeah, I suppose this is the kind of time that we can put our hearts together and over a cuppa and see what comes up. What did you have any certain things that you'd like to cover for today, just to give the viewers a little insight as to what you might want to discuss? And then
Well, you know me in my mouth. It takes me wherever it's taking me, doesn't it? But I was thinking today, because I do mostly tarot, I kind of look at the world through a tarot lens. And I think since I was last on, things have definitely progressed tarot-wise with what I'm doing and the people that I'm reaching, and other things that I do as well, where I kind of put a bit of tarot into it. So there's always things to learn, even for me. And I think that's just imparting that love of tarot to other people. And I think, like we said before, the tarot club that I run as well, which is really good, and getting bigger, which is even better.
That's brilliant. So what do you do in your tarot club?
We meet once a month, but it's going to be twice a month soon, because it's getting very popular, and some people can't do evenings, so I'll do a weekend. Do you know, I set it up because I like tarot, and I wanted to meet other people who like tarot, but I wanted it to be a welcoming space, so people who were beginners, who wanted to learn or didn't know much about it, and people who were more experienced could all come together and do fun things together with the tarot, with kind of like me at the helm, and taking people on guided meditations, picking out tarot cards to like focus on like the history of them, because it's so fascinating. And I think there's not anything that you can't investigate with a set of tarot cards, or several, because I've got several, and I'm always buying new books and things. There's always something to learn. But yeah, tarot club once a month on the second Thursday between 6 and 8 p.m. in Newark, because that's where I am. It's changed locations lately as well. So that was a bit daunting, finding somewhere new for it. And then I think I have to ask for more chairs if more people come along to things, but that's all good. But yeah, we've had some new people join it, and people who've been coming for over a year now as well, which is very positive.
That's amazing. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. And it's an in-person event.
Yeah,
like in-person. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I think it gives that chance to interact with others, to do with tarot, because obviously not everybody understands tarot. Like I think I said 78 cards, 22 major ones and 56 minor ones. Of that, like 16 are court cards. So within that is like your major cards are like the plot line, 0 to 21, because 0 is the falling and fitting anywhere, and that's like the us as humans chucking ourselves into something and learning as we go. The minor ones are kind of as the story unfolds and like setting the scene and all the experiences. And the court cards are kind of, you can kind of fit them into the Briggs Myers like personality traits. Some people try to, but you can fit them into like young people, teenagers, older female, older male, but they all have different personality types, and there's like a good way of teaching people how to learn them as well, because I think tarot should always be fun, and I try and always make it fun. We always have a laugh at Tarot Club. There's always something, you know, that happens, and the people who go are just wonderful. I feel, you know what, I feel so lucky, really, considering everything in my life that brought me to that, and how it's like carried on and it's growing, and it's just brilliant.
I'm really chuffed for you. And if you ever begin an online meeting, do put it out there, and it'd be cool to come and join you sometime, because it's an interesting, it's been around for such a long time. Do you know when the first tarot deck was created?
It was meant to be created as a game, like called Tarocchi or something. And some people said it was Egyptian, and some people said it was French, and some Italian. So its origins are kind of shrouded in mystery. But obviously, we have like the Rider-Waite deck, which is the one that everybody knows, like Rider-Waite. And then we have Pamela Coleman Smith was the illustrator for that as well, and was given like the ideas, and then she did all the illustrations. And then since then, I call that, like, you know, a bit like Reiki. There used to be Reiki. You've got your traditional one, and then it goes off into like lots of different things. So the Rider-Waite one is a good basic one to learn from, and then you get lots of different decks as well, like the Light Seers one. I think got some here. That's like a different Ace of Cups there, which is very pretty, beautiful, and that someone else's different interpretations. What I like about tarot as well is, like, you'll get your basic Rider-Waite deck, and then you'll get other decks as well. And to me, they all have different energies as well. So that energy kind of correlates and syncs with the person who you're doing the readings for as well, which I really like. So when you're like an intuitive reader, you'll pick up different vibes from different decks of cards and different personality traits as well. I just love it. It's like my obsession. But
do you find, oh sorry, before I
yeah, carry on. Sorry.
I was trying to expand you holding up your picture. Would you like to hold the card up again? No, yeah. It's me. I'm still learning StreamYards. But if you hold it up, hold it to the camera, and I'll see if I can maximize. All right, did it do it? There you go. Beautiful.
That's just a really lovely,
really gorgeous cards, aren't they?
Yeah, the Light Seers are just beautiful illustrations compared to the Rider-Waite ones are very good, but that's just so beautiful. And I have done workshops using the Ace of Cups.
Do you feel like the yeah, that's brilliant. What? So do you use cards for particular anchors when you put on workshops?
I find it really interesting to look at tarot sometimes from a psychological aspect of understanding ourselves like better emotionally. So I have helped. I did a stand-in once for somebody at a women's circle, and I used the tarot in that one. I did the High Priestess, and that was getting in touch with your innate feminine intuition. Oh, that's something that I go on about a lot as well. It's like, I think women over the centuries have been so oppressed, we've kind of lost our voice and our connection to our inner selves quite a lot as well. And I think tarot can help you get in touch with that again, and then to trust yourself and what you see, feel, hear sometimes, and think and know. So to me, it's very important to be able to use a visual aid as well when working through like emotional aspects of things as well, because you're kind of taken out of yourself by looking at imagery in a picture, or going on a meditation, you know, and inviting someone to if you're using a tarot card for them to kind of meditate with and go into, it's always about being kind of trauma informed as well, and inviting them, if they feel they want to do this, if it feels safe to do so, and to explore further. Because things can come up. But the High Priestess was a good one, and the Ace of Cups as well. That's why I've shown you the Ace of Cups. It's like a cup, a chalice full of like overflowing water, emotions, spiritual new beginnings, emotional connections, that point of growth and everything. But if you kind of twist it around like to a real world situation, sometimes your cup can be overflowing with huge amounts of stress, and it's got nowhere to go, and you're feeling quite overwhelmed. So in that respect, it can relate to, emotional kind of issues and overwhelm, as well as like feeling good. It can kind of, you want your cup to be full of good things, not overflowing with bad things. And I did print a little thing off earlier, the stress overload buckets, I think they called it. I've done a workshop on that as well. So it's like another one of Natalie's creations.
Oh, let me make you big.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like your stress bucket. It's interesting. When I looked at it, it's like an analogy. When it's overflowing, you feel overwhelmed, you're full of burnout, emotional exhaustion, and the stress is pouring into that to make you feel like that, like work pressure, family issues, life challenges. And if you can't work with dealing with your emotions because you're so overwhelmed and they're all piling up, they need somewhere to go. So you have to find coping strategies. And I think, when you're looking at the tarot in that way, it's like, what can I actually do to, find that peace, to find those healthy boundaries, so you're not taking on too much emotional overwhelm, to find time to rest, to meditate, to connect with yourself on an emotional level, and to understand when things are getting to the point of overwhelm. So, filling your cup with peaceful things, with self-care, looking after yourself, the basics, eating the right food, drinking the right things, spiritual self-care, all those kind of things. So I've been working a lot on things like that, like to do tarot, like all of the cards. But I just like the Ace of Cups because emotionally it's a good analogy or a metaphor for stress and feeling overwhelmed. And I did write a meditation. I did do that in a workshop once as well, which I found quite interesting. So yeah, that's one of the things I did. I think you can, so as well as tarot being a tool for reading the future, because you can see into the future with it, a predictive tool. Obviously, everything's open to free will, isn't it? So everybody's got choices. But tarot can explore those choices. It's limitless. It's like, if I do A, what's likely to happen? How am I going to feel? If I do B, how's that going to feel? A bit like future life progression, isn't it? When you look at alternate futures and you can kind of explore them. And I think tarot and future vision goes really well together.
Yeah, they do go. They do go very well, like just hand in hand. It's just, I suppose with tarot, it's more of there's a physical representation of the symbology of what's coming through, and future vision, you go through a deep relaxation visualization process that takes your consciousness, and you can go, the same thing. It's just a vehicle to access your potential, the potential timeline. And also work to heal past, present and future. So
yeah, I mean, when I first did, I know diverging, but when I first did future life progression with Anne, because obviously we know Anne very well, I think it was back in, was it 2014? I know it was a long time ago. I've got my certificate somewhere, and it popped up on Facebook like one of those random synchronicities do, and I was like, I need to do that. And I did the beginners, the advanced, and the train the trainer one as well, so I loved it that much. But it just gave me hope, and I think that's the thing, people need hope, and having a reading gives someone hope. Future vision, like you say, can explore the past see the future and give people hope. And that's completely what it gave me. I was feeling really low. It's like when I look back on my life and everyone thinks, oh, like one bad thing happened. There was loads of things leading up to, you know, something. But then you kind of get to a point where, not that you need a crutch, but it's good to have something to help
support system.
Yeah. And to kind of help you to explore something in a safe way. And I know Future Vision definitely does that, and tarot is very supportive alongside of that.
Yeah, agreed. I had both paths on my journey. I used tarot, as well as, you know, I learned it myself. You kind of you go through that phase of practicing, but sometimes it's lovely to get a reading from someone else. If you feel that you want, you know, you need a neutral space, but perhaps in your workshops you help people get them to that neutral space so they can read for themselves. Actually, out of interest, how do you position it when you do readings for yourself? Do you do anything differently so you do remain neutral?
Years ago, this is really interesting. Years ago, I could be very objective in a tarot card reading for myself, and then it became slightly more difficult, and I became more subjective. So it's like that, taking yourself out of something. But when I was like teaching tarot again, and I was like, yeah, of course, it's so simple. You know, there's an easy way to see the card as a separate objective entity and get more from it than pouring yourself into it and muddying the waters with your kind of subjective view. So that's really interesting. I wrote some things down from the last tarot club that I did, because some people say, oh, I can't read tarot, and I'm like, you can, everybody can. And it's about listening to your different senses, your different clair senses. So going back to, like, I think we'll use a different card to the Ace of Cups. Use the Two of Cups. I did write it down somewhere. I have loads of pieces of paper everywhere because I'm always very busy and writing things. So here we go. So what I did was, with everybody, it's like we picked a major card because they're just easier to work with for the symbology. So actually we'll pick the Empress because that's rather lovely for the time of year, with it being Beltane soon. So what I've got everybody to do is, and it's a really quick fire way to like read a card, so I've got the Empress there, won't dwell on that, is when you read cards, just don't censor yourself, because that's completely the wrong thing to do. But we all have a dominant sense when it comes to reading cards, but we also have a supportive, like intuitive sense as well, if that makes sense. So
how would that, oh, sorry, you were going to explain what it was, wasn't you? How would you know that?
In a long-winded way, like I do. So yeah, the Empress, for example, it's like if you're looking at that thinking, oh, you're reading for yourself, you would kind of think about your core clear senses, and the first one would be clear seeing. What's the first thing that pops into your head when you look at that? And think, oh, a woman who looks very happy, sat on the throne, she's feeling quite contented, quite happy. She's wearing red. Red is the root chakra, so she's quite grounded. You know, and then you just write that down. What's the first thing that jumps out and you think when you see that? So if you write that down, you can go back to it later. So the next one would be like, if you look at her and she was speaking to you, if she was a line in a movie, what would that line in the movie be? You know, and then write that down. So what words would jump into your head, or a sentence that kind of feels given, or just something that you hear, like a tone change, you know, and that voice in your head, and then it kind of sounds like something else. You think, oh, that's meant to be. But it's slightly different to how when you're overthinking things, and it's like the first thing that will come into your head. So when I'm looking at that, see, I'm not very good at clairaudience. But
it's practice, isn't it? It's practice.
But you know, it's lovely. It's like summer. Here, summer's on its way. And then the next one would be clear feeling, or clairsentience, clear feeling. And how does it make you feel? So when you're looking at that, how does that make you feel? Does it make you feel warm, happy, butterflies? You know, where do you feel yourself shifting emotionally? So all that information is in your body when you're feeling that, and that's the thing to take note of. So where are you feeling that? How does it make you feel? Does it feel light? Does it feel heavy? Does it feel happy? Does it feel sad? And that's like your clairsentience, being able to feel that and interpret how those feelings are. The next one is clear cognizance. So that's like clear knowing. So it's like an instant certainty of what that card means without any logical explanation, and no step-by-step thinking, just an absolute knowing. So this is probably, a strong dominant sense, because a lot of people think they know things, but it's like, what do you think you know about that card? What's she saying? What is it? What is she saying? What do you know about that? Abundance is on its way. I'm going to be rich and everything's going to be wonderful. And the card Venus is like, knowing that you're in your element as well, as a woman, as a teacher, as a creator. So I think that's the important thing. And when you put all of them together, they kind of tell a bit of a story as well. And if you do it with like more than one card, then it builds up a story as well. And I think that's the important thing with tarot, is to keep thinking like, what's the story and how it all flows together. So if we have the Four of Swords and then the Sun after that, the story is one of kind of like dipping in and out. We've got the Empress.
I love that.
Four of Swords, which is about peace and taking time out, and then the Sun. So it's like cycles. We all go through cycles of life where we need to be out there, then we need to retreat and look after ourselves, a bit like the Ace of Cups, where we need to kind of spiritually retreat and empty our cup of all the muddy waters that we don't need, and then we can go out with a clear way and be successful again with the Sun. So there's always a story to kind of tell, and a theme with the cards as well. I just love them. Yeah. But yeah, it's just interesting for me, because I think, running Tarot Club,
it's a yeah,
seeing how everybody learns differently as well. Because I think when I was teaching tarot, not everybody learns it the same way either, because of having different dominant senses or a different way of interpreting the cards. And that's what I always say to people as well. There's no right or wrong way, which is why it's important to listen to those, like, clair senses, see
inner senses,
And like I was saying, I think as women, using tarot cards in workshops to get you in touch with your inner self is, really good way of trusting like your inner self, or where do you feel it? And then you quite often know sometimes when something is making you feel a little bit on edge, that you're pushing that feeling down rather than acknowledging it. It's a bit the same way in a tarot card. So that's what I try and teach, that kind of similarity, but using the symbology of the cards.
It's a very profound tool to help those that feel disconnected from themselves reconnect and reconnect to their own bespoke, unique wisdom, because each of us has, like you said, we've all got different clair senses that are more online or stronger, or the opportunity to also strengthen your other clairs. I love the questions that you asked, and you ask different questions depending on the sense, depending on the card, and then you're getting a fuller picture and story as to the message that's coming through. It's brilliant. So that's how you structure and take people through in your courses?
Yeah, a lot of it's like that. There's quite often some different things with different kind of outcomes that I've done before, and I've done a little bit of experimenting. What did we do at one of them? One of them is like speed dating for the tarot cards. So there's a pile of cards on the table, and I asked random questions like, which one would you be most likely to take to dinner and why? And which one would be most likely to like have a tantrum and throw the Monopoly board across the room? That kind of thing. who's like the most narcissistic. So different people would pick different cards, but be able to give explanations. And it's a really good way of learning in a group setting as well. Another one that I did was everyone in Tarot Club will agree that I needed to get rid of some of the names that I put in there. It was like writing names of people, living dead, places like Stonehenge, mythical people like Merlin, celebrities who've passed over, celebrities who are still alive, and even like situations as well, like the suffragette movement, for example. Wrote them all on bits of paper separately, folded them all up, and then participants would pick one out and first of all hold it, not knowing what was on the side inside this folded up piece of paper. A bit like the same as the clairsenses. Does it feel warm? Does it feel cold? Is this energy still alive? Is it past? And then you're kind of picking up whatever I've written on or printed onto these bits of paper, and then because it's a good way to do absent readings as well with people's signatures or when you're tuning into people. So there's lots of different ways of learning. So anyway, we shuffle them in, concentrate on what's on this piece of paper that you can't see, and then ask like relevant questions to people, places and things, like what's the lasting legacy to the world, because that can be a person, place or thing. I can't remember the other two questions, but they're probably in my tarot folder. Look at this.
You'll have to go to your workshop and
look
soon to be online. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Yeah, look at
for those that aren't local.
Work. Yeah, I would like to do them online. I think that would be really interesting. So yeah, you ask questions and then you would like write down your answers and unfold the piece of paper at the end, and it'd be very interesting to see how your answers fitted with what you got. I think we'd used Donald Trump for one of them and Amy Winehouse. Sadly she's passed over, but it was very interesting to see how people were kind of very accurate on the things that they picked up on, not even knowing what was on that piece of paper. And again, I think it takes you to that energy of connection. Like, is it quantum entanglement? Is it that?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Quantum physics.
We're all connected, but connected to that energy. Again, like the Reiki, like the future vision, which is why I find it fascinating, because it does work in very many different ways.
It's connecting into the unity field. When I say unity field, it's the fabric of time and space that we are all made of and all connected, even though we are all having individual experiences, but they're also shared as well. Most of the time, there's shared experiences that you have, for good or for bad. But they take us through the lessons and destinies and paths for us to master our inner world and then create the outer world that we like truly desire. And you can do that through these kinds of things. So brilliant. And uncovering and resolving and releasing subconscious things as well. It's and realigning to your best possible future. It's a very profound tool to use.
And I think I think a lot of growth comes with connection as well, because I think we live in a very digital age, so even though we're connected like this, I still feel perhaps a lot of us feel we're kind of separate somehow, because we keep ourselves to ourselves. And then when we do open up and share experiences, we find out we're a lot more alike as people and our journeys as well, which is nice, because you've got that connection then physically as well as on the energy realms, the unity field. It's it does make a lot of sense when you look into it. It's not all woo woo, like tarot cards is not all woo woo. Wouldn't have been around for so long or have so many people doing it if it didn't work and didn't have some connection to your inner psychology as well, because it does help you understand yourself a lot when you look at it in that way.
It's merely another tool. It's a very profound one at that. And I'm really, it's wonderful to hear you're creating these spaces. Did you say that it's women's only, these tarot meetings, or is
Yeah, tarot club's open to everybody, male, female, and it's because it's for everybody who's into tarot. Some of the more specific things I do, like when I did the women's circles, it's obviously women only. And one thing I've discovered from how I am talking to everybody about everything is discovering that a lot of women have gone through a lot of stuff and don't believe in themselves and have very low self-worth and self-esteem, which I think is awful, because all these women out there are so creative, so powerful, and holding it all inside. So workshop wise, I do like to prefer, I only work with women, I do have to say, because having been through a lot of stuff myself, I can relate to what they've gone through, and then go through a series of exercises with tarot, and always a bit of sticking and gluing at the end, because I think it's nice when you've gone through a series of like inner exploration with the tarot, to at the end make your own tarot card that symbolizes all the things that that you've been hiding. So, and that's like a visual reminder.
Yeah,
I like to
that made my heart so happy.
Yeah.
It did. Especially for and I'm sure I've been there, and it can be a very painful, lonely place when you're going through these things, especially if you're going through it by yourself, or you don't have much of a network or support system. So these spaces that we create are like, whether it's free podcasts, because I feel everyone deserves the right to evolve, everyone, or in more of a private circle where there's deep development when you feel acknowledged, and you acknowledge yourself first and foremost, but you also you feel validated for the experiences that you've been through, and know that you're not the only one that has. And there is a real strength that comes from being witnessed and witnessing yourself and seeing a path to walk through to your best future. And that might even just be like just switching a habit, or create your own beautiful bespoke tarot card that is uniquely yours as a reminder of who you are. And it's fabulous.
Yeah, I think it's important to
that makes
it's like a magical kind of experience. I think I keep saying the word experience. I knew I would say that a lot today, and I was right, because I have, and it's something I always seem to say. But having an experience is important, because it connects you to yourself, past yourself, in the future, and how you want to be. I also think there's a lot of expectations that women place on themselves, and they shouldn't, because considering how difficult life is, I think we should celebrate ourselves more, and the fact that as women we do tend to cope with things on our own, like you said, and there isn't always like-minded people out there to share things with, or you feel like you can't share things, and then I come along and blah 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 blah, and that's kind of belittling it. But no, it's like
you shine a torch, you shine a lamp.
Not hiding in the shadows, or not being ashamed, or of how your life is, but celebrating who you are. And like I say, with tarot, it's like a pic. You can disassociate yourself a little bit by looking at a picture, and it just gives you that kind of step back to be able to look at everything with a different lens, so to speak. And I create different readings as ways of looking at things as well, to connect with yourself on a deeper level.
I love that. It's bringing light to shadow, and that's I feel it's a really great integration process as well.
Definitely.
Because you can also see how things have changed. What once was doesn't mean it will always be. it's you know, we have chapters in our book, and they amass to experiences, and I use experience a lot as well, because actually life is full of experiences. Doesn't need to be labeled as good, bad, or indifferent. It is an experience. If you're in it and it is horrendous, don't give up. Like, life will get better, but you have to hang in there, and you have to hold on to the good things in life and keep your head above the water and do beautiful things. Like, come and work with Natalie.
I think sometimes when you look back over your life and like where you are now, you can still see you've got a long way to go, but you can see how far you've already come as well. And you know, when I look at the things that I'm doing now, I'm still filled with anxiety and fear, but I try not to let it stop me. There's still certain things that I can't do, but I won't mention them on here because I'm still working on them. I mean, nothing bad, just things that I just find so difficult. So I'm not, you know, perfect. I'm not completely sorted. I'm still a work in progress, you know, so I'll never be a guru. I don't really want to
be. Guru is so old earth because actually everyone again, everyone has the opportunity to evolve, and no one should be put on a pedestal, because we all have unique journeys, we all have unique experiences, and we all learn in different ways, we all process in different ways and in different amounts of time. Like, there is no fixed, like, here's a start and end point of healing. I feel like over life it just gets easier, and the more you do the things that you enjoy, the more confidence you bring to yourself, the more turning anxiety into excitement. That's a good one. I heard that they did a study and about when people were like, oh, I feel anxious, and they said, when you want to say I feel anxious, just say I feel excited or you know, words to that effect. And they noted that the participants, their energy had shifted. It was you know, same energy, but you're just different lens on it. And just go for it. Take that energy. If you have anxious energy, then do something with it. And
definitely, that's like me doing tarot club. It's like, get out there and do it. I was made an admin of the local, I think I said this before, I can't remember, of the local pagan group that had been running for 16 years. And some of the admins were busy doing stuff and some of them couldn't do anything. And I'm like, oh, that's like such a massive responsibility. What do I do? But I have kept it going, and it has kind of developed again, a bit like Tarot Club. Some of the people from there, like, you know, the alternative side, or like the magical side of paganism. And so there's like another group as well that I run, and we meet for, you know, the Wheel of the Year. So the next one will be Beltane, and get together and celebrate that as well, which is really nice. But that's really taken me out of my comfort zone, but I really enjoy it. It's nice to see everybody happy, and, you know, to be doing something for people, you know, that they want and enjoy. But
you've hit the nail on the head, actually, because I've had the same thing. Is when you're doing something for someone else, you feel a little less stressed about it in a way, because it's not just you, it's you're there for someone else, and it gives a different set of roles or responsibilities that are put you know, that you hold. And then you have to stand up, you have to be that that light, the beacon of light, and as a leader, whatever that looks like and entails. But that's a really great way to move through the things of your past and turn it into something beautiful, rather than feeling like you've just got really, really, really heavy bags that you're carrying around with you all the time, and it's weighing you down. So you can kind of start to transform the bags into whatever it might be. I had like a cart in my head, and then giving out balloons.
It's do some sticking and gluing. It always helps. But
Yeah.
I think it's about, changing things. Maybe we've got so stuck into our beliefs about ourselves because our lives have been lived a certain way for so long, or things that have happened to us in our childhood, like adverse childhood experiences, have shaped our adult lives. And then we get to a point where, as adults, we think, oh, actually, that doesn't resonate, that doesn't feel right. And then I think we start properly growing up and realizing that who we were is not who we are. And a lot of us, how we are, has been shaped by the people that we were around in the past, and that's not really who we are. So that's always like an exciting adventure to discover that, like who you are, what you actually like.
Who am I now?
Yeah. And I think that's what I find exciting, because it's like discovering new little bits. I know of me, I know people say, oh yeah, who is Natalie? And I always say, oh, Natalie likes tarot cards, cake and flamingos. But that's a good starting point, isn't it?
I like the flamingos part. It feels very I like it. It's kind of like cocktail regal sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Also pretty nature, if you're going with the natural side of things.
This little bubbly effervescentness. But yeah, it's really interesting sometimes. I can be very miserable and very down in the dumps, but then everybody can, and I think we all deserve a bit of time to wallow and think about things, not ruminate too much. But it helps us to grow and realise, oh, I don't actually like feeling like that. What can I do to change things? And tarot kind of helps me with that. Getting out there and teaching tarot and running tarot club helps me with that, because I learn stuff as well, and it's making me think more. The amount of books I buy. The other day, I think I put a post on my Instagram and Facebook about, oh look, happy Natalie bought 3 new books, and as I was doing that, something came through the letterbox. It was another tarot book that was like 4 in one day. But it's all about research and learning. There's always so much to learn, and the good thing is everybody's got a different perspective on it with all the books that you read anyway, and that's like a metaphor for life, isn't it? In teaching tarot, as in, like, whatever you're seeing, thinking, feeling, that's right, and it's relevant, because 3 different people can look at the same reading and see 3 or more different things in it, but they're all relevant and they're all right. And it's how it kind of resonates and feels to you as a person. And if it feels good, it is good. If it feels not so good, why does it feel not so good? And what does it bring up, and what can you do to change things? Because I'm all about change and not staying still. I think sometimes, we're like a rubber band, aren't we? So we're pulling back on the past and we're stretching a little bit more to the future. And then it's kind of like pulling you back a bit. So sometimes there's resistance, but then, you stretched yourself so far and it gets safe and comfortable. And then you have to kind of like stretch yourself a bit further, because you do have to grow. I can't imagine ever staying the same. I mean, I think I'll always like flamingos and cake. That's a given, because that's never
Good. Don't ever give that up.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, someone at Tarot Club got me a tinsely flamingo at Christmas, because they knew I liked flamingos. That made me very happy.
Oh, that's lovely. And even as like a totem animal, they bring a lot of joy to a party. You see lots of flamingos at parties, and they look so beautiful and dressed up, and
I tell you what made me laugh about flamingos, because I know something that makes my life a bit extra difficult is having like mobility issues. And I thought the irony is not lost on me that a flamingo stands on one leg. Does that mean it's got one good leg and one bad leg? A bit like me.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, I do.
And you're still beautiful, just
on.
like the flamingo.
Yeah, I do love flamingos. Pink, feathery, and sweet. I don't even know how that came about. I think it was when Lola was little. So that's been a long time now. But there is something about flamingos. They're not like any other birds, are they? They're just
unique. They're very, very unique, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, they don't look like they evolved from dinosaurs in any way, shape, or form. Thankfully,
No, they're too classy.
yeah, they are. Give
They're
them
the
a handbag,
classy bird babes.
sunglasses. Yeah, yeah, they look very
And
good.
Prosecco, they're good.
Oh yeah, oh yes, prosecco. Yeah, tea, prosecco,
Yeah.
tea and flamingos. Oh, definitely. But yeah, it's like going back to like workshops and things like that that I do with women. I designed an unstoppable woman tarot spread as well to kind of like explore things. So I don't know, have you got cards there, or shall I pull some cards? I'll pull some cards.
Yeah,
So like
pull some cards. I do have some cards nearby.
Yeah. And the first question, card 1, is like, this is about if you're feeling stuck, because a lot of women like feel stuck, and it's about getting back into some agency over their lives and what they can do. So this is about like being aware of like your nervous system when you're reading the cards as well, and like your intuition. So the first card was going to be, card 1 is like where someone is stuck. And I pulled the Hierophant, which is really interesting because that's kind of teaching and being in a position of leadership and people looking up to someone as well. And the pillars of wisdom either side. So feeling stuck in that respect is, you know, you're looking now here for the habits that you're kind of stuck in, emotional habits, the cycles of life that you go through where you feel stuck and you're not quite getting out of them, and thought loops like self-doubt and situational stagnation. So looking at that, it's the radical self-honesty, isn't it? It's like, where am I stuck? Because I want to do so much, you know, teaching, and I know for me it's about technology. Stuck with technology. I've got 1,000,001 ideas. I sit and I write them all out, and it's getting them out there, isn't it? So teaching isn't the stuck thing, but there's a slight block to it, I think. But the Hierophant is a lovely one. It's like wisdom, isn't it? Learning, helping people. It's also about being a bit rigid, so maybe that's what the cards are saying as well to me, about not being quite so rigid in what I'm doing, or being like the perfectionist. I've been told that I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I just need to get out there and get doing it.
Sometimes just, I mean, I have peaks and troughs of I've got time capacities. I'll book things in a bit like today, and then my Wi-Fi wasn't working, so we're currently hotspotting off my phone. But it's like keep my chill throughout, even when things pop up, and just know it's okay. It's meant to be. It's not meant to be perfect, and I think that's also a childhood trauma. Childhood, you know, feeling good enough, all that kind of thing. I feel that's where the perfectionist thing comes through. But I've practiced not being perfect, because you can't be. You wouldn't get anything done. Or you get one thing done really well, but nothing else would get done. So it's the getting comfortable is like just get it out. For anyone listening, including yourself, Natalie, for technical things, and I love the fact that you like wrote all the things that you want to do. I've used AI in the past. You can use whomever you feel most resonant with, to help you plan how to take action and how to do it. Like if you don't know how to set something up, you can, I mean, other than paying someone, I enjoy doing things myself and learning new skills and seeing things through to the end. So for me personally, I like figuring it out for myself, and even if it takes a bit longer than it needs to, then fine, but I will eventually get faster. But you could put your list into AI and ask, if I know nothing technically about how to do this, can you give me simple structured steps as how to create it? And that's a really that would be a really good way of
that's a good idea, and a sense of achievement as well. Like you say, when you stuck it out and done it yourself, that's like a massive sense of achievement. I think as well, sometimes like having trauma from the past kind of stops you a little bit from looking for help as well. And I've got better at asking for help, I have to say, in a roundabout way. And I was thinking, since like coming to live here, I know so many more people, which is so way out of my comfort zone. But you know, I've met some really great people. I feel very honoured to know the people that I've met and crossed paths with, not just Tarot Club, but other things I've done, like art groups and creative writing groups, all of that. It's all really good. So yeah, should we go back to the spread? It's like so card 1, teaching, not being perfect, not being rigid. Card 2, we've got what you're not actually seeing, which is like your blind spot. So what's being hidden, what's being avoided, or sitting in the subconscious. So it's like, what do you feel in your body when you look at that, and what do you hear internally, and you know, what phrases are going on in your head. So this is where your intuition you know, needs to whisper loudly what is it you're not seeing. So that kind of goes back again, doesn't it, to you know, the things that are hidden in our childhood that we don't always acknowledge, you know, our conditioning as well, you know, but we're not blind to it, but it is there, you know, the fundamentals of how, like we're saying, how we were brought up and our childhoods. But also as well in that, there's like giving, there's that innocence of giving there, and people who are on the same wavelength, and people who are looking out for each other as well. So I think that's kind of saying that there is people out there, you know, people out there to help. But as a trauma response, you know, like we say, our conditioning is from our childhood, and that's a massive thing, I think, to overcome as an adult. Especially when more things happen to you as an adult. But like say, living examples of overcoming things and what have you. So card 3 in this powerful spread is like the power, what you can use right now, and that's like the 7 of Wands. So the strength, resources, and inner power that you can activate immediately. So that proves that you're not stuck. So you're not stuck in those you know, childhood paths of uncertainty, and you know, living those adverse childhood experiences. So you know, this is like showing you that you're not stuck. You know, you're resourced, you've got resources, but you're perhaps a bit disconnected from it, and that's a really good one, isn't it? You know, your personal traits of resilience there, you know, the 7 of Wands is like, right, you know, up and at it, I'm going to keep going. So that is it, isn't it? Having that resilience to keep going, you know, embodying those spiritual gifts, and that's you know, climbing that mountain. That person there looks like they're standing on top of the world, and they're enjoying all the challenges as well. So like we were kind of saying about facing the anxieties and everything as well, it's like the more you do, the easier it gets, and the more your self-belief strengthens as well. So I like that card. I like it in one of the other decks I've got as well, which I think it's over there. I won't be able to get it. I think it's a Robin Wood deck, and it's got this guy in a kilt who stood on the top of a cliff with all his like rods and his sporran and everything, and it just kind of adds a bit of a spin on it. And I think that one's saying it's like, do it in your own individual way. You know, you can do it. You've got that. And to me, that's like embodying that energy of tarot, because that's a very energy card with it being a wand. And the blind spot was like, you know, the emotional one, where you perhaps feel as a child whatever those emotions were, you know, you don't need to feel them anymore. You're the adult now, and you've got that energy and drive to you know, make those changes, make those challenges. Oh, and card number 4, let's have a look. Oh, Knight of Wands. So that's quite interesting, with it being a court card, and this position that I put for this one is like the next aligned step. What is your movement forwards? So one clear aligned action that you can take, you know, it doesn't have to be big, it's just something that shifts your energy and gets you moving again. So this was really interesting, with it being the Knight of Rods. That is the card of action and energy, and not staying in one place. this person, it's kind of saying as well as you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket. It's about just getting out there and getting on with it and enjoying the journey more than anything. And if you try something you don't like it, you can always go and try something else. And I think with it being the ones as well, I think that's kind of saying, well, just pick one of those things that fills you with, what we say, not anxiety, but like turn it into excitement. What's one of those things that can bring your life that excitement, and just pick it up and go on that journey. And then that's the movement forwards. So you're not stuck. You know, if you've got 7 things there to do, just pick one of them. There's still another 6 left. You know, if you don't like one, you can do another one. So, you know, for me, that's how I would conduct that kind of spread. But it would get people thinking, you know, about emotions, practical things, and knowing
make the unseen seen.
Yes, and you kind of get in touch with how, you know, that card makes you feel. How does it make you feel seeing the Knight of Wands like that? If you think about the clair senses, what do you see? You see a guy on a horse, he's going forwards. You know, what do you feel? Excitement, you know, energy, passion, creativity. You know, what do you know? I'm going to start where I am. I'm going to get to where I need to be. And what do you hear? You know, that's like the movie thing talking to you. So I would hear Knight Rider tunes in my head with that, like
Love it.
You know, onwards and upwards kind of thing.
I love it.
You know? So, you know, that's a good way of looking at that from, you know, different clair senses, but also very relevant to life situations. And as well, I like to make tarot fun. So I don't think it has to be boring. There's a lot to it. It's never boring though, is it? I don't think I've ever.
Not with you, Natalie. I think, you know, you're bringing the flamingos and the cake and your big beautiful heart, and I love how you've it feels like it's been a bit of a short kind of window into your workshops, which, like I said, let me know when you do start your online, because I'd love to drop in, and I would love to learn from you as well, because you're a woman of your own craft and that self-mastery, and I love it. I don't, you know, it doesn't matter what our past has been, but what we do with it now and using it for good moving forwards and to help others, that is self-mastery. That's how I see it, at least, anyways. And it also helps you move through the energy, so you're no longer stuck in the old, but you can return to it for wisdom and guidance for others. In a peaceful way.
Yeah, I do think we sometimes, well, I know I do, you know, you get stuck in a certain way of thinking. And I could see years ago I'd be stuck in that certain way of thinking for a lot longer than I am now. So we do progress, but I think it depends on the stuff that we've gone through as well and how it's affected us. And what's something bad for someone is not necessarily would have the same effect on someone else. It's very subjective, and we should never judge someone for anything they've gone through and how it's made them feel, because that is how it's made them feel, and that's valid, and you know, that's relevant to them, and you know where they are at in life, you know, and I've been there, so
have I.
You know, yeah. So many people have, and it upsets me and makes me cross because the world shouldn't be like it is, but it is. And as humans, we have to adapt, and we have to transform these negative experiences.
Yes, and keep choosing the reality we do want to live in. And I wanted to say, when you said about the amount of time that it takes you now is lesser than it would have been before, and that is a really good insight for your progression. And again, like I said before, there's no comparison between anyone, and also there's no comparison on times for recuperation and truly finding yourself again. So it is a journey, and it's a beautiful one at that. And I'm very, very pleased that you have been pushing yourself, my darling, and even pushing through the anxiety or fear at points and just going for it anyway. So it's brilliant. I'm so chuffed for you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. And you're helping so many wonderful souls along the way as well. And that's how we build the new Earth
Yeah.
2.0, which has integrity and all the other beautiful things that we want to create. We're creating for ourselves, and we're sharing it with the others, so they get to have their own unique experience of creating the reality they truly desire, not the one that has been put on them so far. There's always a choice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. We're now at the hour. Do you have
Mhm.
any last words of wisdom or just last messages you'd like to share with the audience? And also how people can reach you and work with you?
Yeah,
Your finals.
I just want to say thank you again for letting me come on. I was very nervous. I don't know why, because last time I wasn't at all. It's just very strange. But even between last year and this year, I can see how much what I've been doing, has progressed as well, and how much fun I'm having. Like I say, do Tarot Club. People can reach me on my Tarotivity page on Facebook and Instagram. That's probably the best way of getting hold of me, is sending a message through there. Yeah, one thing I do want to say is when you have gone through certain systems in the world, you're kind of told to stay off social media slightly. So my private page is kind of my private page. With certain privacy things on it, so there's that juxtaposition of being who you were and how your life was, and growing into what you want to do and what you want to be, which is what I'm focusing on now with my tarot page and the future vision stuff. It's like having lots of skills and bringing them all together, isn't it? But yeah, so if anybody wants to know more about Tarot Club, it's in person, like I said, the second Thursday of every month. There's going to be some separate things on a Sunday, but I'm not sure when yet. I've got to sort that out. That's another hurdle for me to get over as well. They'll be teaching tarot. There will be more things online once I've figured out technology, because that is really holding me back, is like how to present things online.
Let's talk. If you can't work it out with AI, just drop me a message. I'm very happy to help give a direction for you to follow, but I'm sure you'll absolutely crack it.
Yeah, I think it's knowing what platforms, isn't it, to use for certain things. But like you say, AI is very good. I never think about asking it practical things like that. It's a shame
Put your requirements in.
Yeah. Yeah, can it cook my tea for me? No. Oh dear.
Robot.
Yeah. Oh dear. But yeah, thank you for having me on again, and showing you a bit of my world, my love of tarot, because I do, and I grow with it, and it's good. I learn more.
Beautiful.
We're always learning.
And you know what? And that is, you should never stop learning. I don't think anyone ever truly stops learning. We're always evolving. And if we're not, then we're stagnating.
Yeah, and that's wrong. So that's why you have the tarot spreads to get unstuck.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, lovely. So thank you so much for everyone joining, and do feel free to join us. Follow us on our channel, subscribe, check out what's coming up, whether it's more podcast episodes or opportunities to work with us at a more private circles. I've got some memberships as well, and yeah, really the same kind of space. I use Future Vision. I have a technical design part of me, as well as the helping people see for themselves. So it's a very self-empowering journey. Again, same as Natalie, we're giving people the tools so they can really get the reins on their own life, take charge of their own life, and it's beautiful to see people flourish. And yeah, it's all really exciting with that. Yeah, so check out 108healingsenses.com or at my Ko-fi, same tag. And yeah, it's lovely having you all here. Thank you so much, Natalie. It's been such a pleasure. I truly wish you all the best and growth for your tarotivity. And I look forward to joining you online when you have your once you get your technical thing figured out, and I'm more than happy to help you with that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure. Cool. Okay. Well, anyone that was interested in messages for themselves, Natalie, do you do one-to-one sessions?
I do readings where people don't even need to be there. They can just send me their questions, and I'll just sit at home and shuffle the cards and send a reading back to them. That normally works quite well. Yeah, it's like we say, it's all about that energy connection.
Yeah. So for anyone that has messaged in the comments asking for personal information on themselves for the future, get in contact with Natalie, and she'll give you a fabulous reading, and that will help you move forwards in life to the best, on the best path. Lovely. All right. See you all soon, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe and comment. And what questions do you have, and who do you want to hear about next? Like, this is a platform for everyone to grow, so do let me know, and we will grow together. All right. Sending lots of love to you all as well. Thanks, Jake. And actually, this Saturday, on the 11th of April, that I will be one of the speakers at Anne Jersh's Future Vision Summit 2026, and there will be 10 speakers, I believe, between 12 to 6 p.m. BST, which is GMT +1. We're now in the British summertime, and there will be a range of incredible speakers, all orientated around future vision. So mine will be more on the marketing side of things, more the kind of technical, but there will be lots of others from healing, and check it out. Go get your free tickets. So I'll put that in the description as well. Lots of love for now. Thank you, Natalie, as always. And look forward.
Thank you.
Me too. It'll be great fun. And flex that excitement muscle. All right. See you soon.